Now let's focus on the NPP and their race to determine who leads the party in the next general elections. Now, with key aspirants now attacking each other on what could have accounted for the 2024 election defeat, a speech delivered by aspirant Dr. Brian Ichampo has got Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia to respond directly, insisting tribe or religion played no role in this electoral performance. This has sparked concerns about the nature of politicking taking place and whether the party's leaders must step in. Well, we can now take a listen to former flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, who has strongly condemned what he describes as tribal and divisive comments made by the aspirants against him ahead of the presidential primary slated for January 2026.
As we prepare to go into the primaries, I am very, very concerned and troubled that some of our presidential aspirants have embarked on a religious and tribal bigotry and propaganda against me in a desperate attempt to win votes. They totally ignore all the data and findings about why we lost the 2024 elections and want to mislead the delegates and the party with such propaganda. The one such issue that has come up, and I think it's important for all of us to know, is the Mamprose-Kusasi conflict. An aspirant has said that delegates should not vote for me because I am a Mamprose man, and that we will lose votes in the Kusasi areas and other areas. This is very unfortunate and demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the situation on the ground.
Let's have a quick chat on the back of this. Dr. Samuel Ifriye is a political analyst, is joining us for that conversation. Doc, obviously for a lot of people, this is very concerning. Has the party shown enough concern about how the presidential primary is playing out?
You know, it's quite unfortunate that the NPP is still not finding its feet well in this. That is after the general election, 2024 elections, and still they are accusing each other and trying to ensure that they put blame on why they've lost. I think I always use the word common sense for these leaders or maybe the party members to sit down and try to focus on the party unity rather than the individualistic perspective. And I think that is why this is forcing one of these aspirants to also accuse Dr. Bawumia for these conflicts, the issues about Mamprose and the Kusasis. And that is quite unfortunate. And I think the party need to sit up. The leaders need to think about the party general interest rather than the individual perspective. Yes.
What impact does this kind of politicking have on a party like the NPP that only recently got into opposition and is struggling to find its feet?
You know, I think Article 21 of our Constitution talks about, one of the sessions talks about a non-discrimination, where we don't have to prohibit discrimination based on race, color, and religion. But you know, in reality, political parties since I think, let's say the Fourth Republic, even though the Constitution bans this non-discriminatory approach, you realize that political parties tend to use these religion and tribal issues, and that is an undercurrent in a way to achieve their perspective goals, and that is what is hampering some of some of these conflicts in these areas. You know, for history, you can realize that the Mamproses are aligned to the NPP and the NDC, also the Kusasis. Even though Kusasis from Kwame Nkrumah time, they were aligned to the CPP. But because of CPP being weakened, they've now tend to align with the Kusasis. And during the 2024 election, realized that there was an undercurrent of these politicians or political parties trying to influence or use these things, these tribal groups, for their own political interests. Right. And they see that now it has gotten hold, and now even within the party, the NPP party, they are even trying to use against their one of the aspirants, that is Dr. Bawumia. And I think we need to ensure that we reason to avoid these things. If not, because research have proven that Ghanaians don't vote on tribal and religion in a way. They want people, personality, they want people who can solve their problem for them. If that have not been the case, I think we could not have gotten most of our leaders being president in this country.
I see. And so, I mean, let me play the devil's advocate here, right? While you say that it does not play a significant role, to a small extent, for some voters, it does play a role. And so, is it a matter of the bigotry that came along with it, or, in terms of how it was conveyed? What exactly is wrong with what Brian Achampong said?
Is it what Brian Achampong said? Even though, you see, when you are selecting leaders, and you tend to use where the person is coming from, where their beliefs, then you are trying to shift the goalposts to certain kind of groups, and that is what it's against the unity or the purpose of that group. And that is what Dr. Bawumia was saying, that because if you go into that direction and go straight ahead, then you're creating problems, because that is where issues will come up, and then people will tend to come out with those statements than other groups. But in reality, as I said earlier, I realized that Ashanti votes goes to the Ashanti region, goes to the NPP, and you see voter region goes. So you see that they have well played some of these undercurrent, but just coming out to make it such a statement of which you cannot even make a conclusive statement that based on that, the Dr. Bawumia lost the election because of the Kusasi, and so he cannot. You can't use somebody's background, where the origin, as a way to justify that the person cannot turn to lead a certain group of people. And that is totally wrong. And I believe that you need to come and accept and try to apologize to Ghanaians and also to the NPP party. If not, I think it's quite unfortunate for him.
And Doc, as you have outlined, the history of the party is bigger than that. What can party executives do now, particularly at the national level, to send the strongest signal that, look, we do not, condone bigotry ahead of the primary or even for any election at all?
It's true. Even I'm so surprised that the party general secretary has not issued even any release to these concern. It's so baffling that the general secretary has not been acting, because these should not be encouraged. We all live together as one people. We all have our differences, but when it comes to positions, that is where you see people trying to play that part. And you know that the NPP has not found it fit till now. And for someone who is vying to be an aspirant to go to that extent, I think it's uncalled for. And I've been saying that the NPP National Executive is still weak, because they should have acted by now. And that is what is causing these kind of unfortunate statements and some of these intra-party conflicts and some of these issues where somebody just rise up today, make some statement, nothing is being done. I think the National Executive or the General Secretary of the NPP should be up and doing this time to ensure that there should be sanity and people need to be protected in one way or the other. If not, I'm surprised that the party is heading towards more cracks, and then it will be unfortunate for them in 2020.
Dr. Samuel Efri, I appreciate your time with us. Thank you so much.